got them slid together. Don't line up just right, but I believe they're a little bit bent.
Probably from packing and shipping.
All that. I'll just deal with it, getting kind of a bugger to get lined up.
How come you only put bolts on one side? How come you only put bolts on one side of it?
Yeah, on this flange, that's
Yeah.
the only ones it calls for.
I know it's the only one.
Well, your roof panels screw into this.
Oh, okay.
This roof channel, these particular ones are. But as you do each of them, you want to make sure you check your length and make sure that these are 142 inches and 3/8 as you assemble them.
Is that good?
Yeah, just that way. The reason why the instructions keeps telling you to do that, as you read them, you'll see that it tells you there constantly to do that. It's because they build so many of these different building kits that it is possible for you to get a part for a
Smaller kit or a larger
kit or a bigger kit, whatever the case may be. But we will start on putting the other one together. They're not easy. They're really not that nice to play.
A lot of it has to do with handling after it's all of these have been cut and
Yeah, between shipping between stores and everything else to get.
then people buying them, getting them home, and
Deciding they don't want to fool with them, take them back, stuff like that. No, when you move them, a lot of stuff happens. Again, this is another one of just a single wide channel. Like I said, you got to make 2 of them. We're putting the second one together, then we'll go over the 2 channels put together to make an I-beam for the center of the roof. In just a moment. There you go.
Yep.
Alright, now we're assembling the roof I-beam.
is this the center beam?
Yeah, right there it is on the page. You'll need 14 of the nuts and bolts, 4 pieces of the roof beam channel. As you see, I done the same thing as on the other 2. Stuck 2 pieces of channel together, but now on the other 2, we went ahead and bolted it. Well, on this one, we're not going to yet. Get them, all your hose lined up in each one, like so. Don't let me smack at the camera or nobody in the head. And you're gonna lay them right on their back, back to back.
Hang on. There we go.
Right there. And you gotta line up both. Like so. I think the instructions actually said to go ahead and put the 2 bottom screws in the beams, but they're fitting so tight together I just went ahead and done it like this. We'll do those in just a second. Get a couple of these started to help. you'll get mad if you're like me and you'd rather use just a regular wrench rather than an adjustable, because some of the nuts they're off size too much. Metric or standard, neither one won't fit them. The other ones, a 9mm will fit. Some are 8, some are 5/16, and then say some of them, none of them, either size will fit. So you end up having to use discretion anyway. So I'm pretty much just sticking with it the whole time. All right, let's get your center I-beam. Are you recording?
Yes.
Let's get your center I-beam built. You'll notice it's 4 of the part number 10568 channels, roof channels, bolted together back to back. 2 end to end, and then the two sets that you put together end to end, bolted back to back. That is your center roof beam. And then you'll have your one roof beam will be for one side. Got so much stuff laying around here, I can't lay them out, but you'll have one roof beam between this one and your outside wall, and one on the opposite side between your main beam, center beam, and the outside wall on the other side. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to assemble the door track, and you'll need one, which is, it's called a track splice, and it's a painted part. Part number is 6403, but you probably won't even be able to see it on the camera. It's hard to even see right here looking at it, but it's a painted part. You'll notice there's 4 holes on the bottom side of it. At the top there's a whole bunch of holes, and then on the door track itself, part number 9366, there's 2 of those. If you'll look at those, it's the same story. There's 4 holes in the bottom of them. The top side has a whole bunch of holes, and you'll want to go with the side that has the least amount of holes. And the way they'll line up when you come in to your door splice, what I'm doing here, you'll see there's 2 holes. I got 2 fingers pointed at each hole here. One splice will come to the hole closest to the end will come to this. Here, and then there's one on this end. And you'll notice there's one here and one here. If you look down through here, and there is a whole bunch of holes, you've got that piece in upside down. Now to hold these together, they use the regular screws, not the little machine screws and nuts. It's actually just the tapered sheet metal screws. But like I said earlier, if you're using a power tool with these, you'll want to be careful, because this aluminum is easily stripped.
So you want to go kind of slow with it?
Yeah, you just go in there enough to snug it up. Don't torque the tar out of it. If you torque it too tight, it'll strip out. And it'll be the same story with this one. You're lining the 2 holes up. Once you get them stuck together like that right there, before you do anything else, grab your tape measure, and the finished length should be 118 inches, 118 1/8 inch. But you'll want to watch. You see I'm kind of rubbing my painted parts on the concrete stuff, you don't really want to do that. It scratches the paint off of it. I made a boo-boo. That one is 118 and 1/8 inch, so that part is also good. I want to reiterate again, always make sure that you check your parts after you've assembled them. Each of these sections, whether the door track or any of the frame pieces, and make sure that they are the right length, because like we said earlier, if you're not careful, what you'll end up with is possibly you could end up with a part for a different building, or you could have accidentally grabbed the wrong part out of your the parts that you have on hand. You may have, because there's some parts look similar, so it's possible that you could have got the wrong parts and it will affect the length. And you don't want to be standing wall panels and putting all this stuff together and parts be the wrong length, because then you'll say a lot of adult oriented words. Alright, now the next thing you want to do is you want to install your door slides. Your door panels will actually fasten to these. These will go, if you will look, you'll see, you see it good there? Alright, you'll see that it's flat, or more of a right angle with just a little taper. This side here is rounded real well. The rounded side, you'll want to put it facing downward towards where the side that you put your screws in a while ago. So you'll slide them in like, can you see that good?
Yes.
They do not go inside like that. You bring them, oh, I've lost that one. You bring them out to where it's actually one side of your door slide is outside of your rail, the other is on the inside of your track, like so. And it takes 4 of them, which you can see there's a screw in each of these lips. Our camera was having to charge the battery on the camera, so I didn't get a video of this, but you got 2 screws in each corner. You can see how we overlapped it, put the screws in. There's also a bolt and nut comes up from the bottom inside this channel. Can you see it on there?
Not in the channel, no. Yep.
Alright. You have to make sure and put that bolt up from the bottom with a nut in here so it sits flat on your surface, whether it's concrete or the wooden floor kit, or even just setting it on the dirt, whatever. Same spot.
So right now we are working to see if it is square by going from corner to corner.
Go back to the side, man.
You'll pull on my chair.
Back again. All right, go back.
He's back and determined to run my shoes off.
You want to go through after you do your diagonal measurements and make sure everything's square. You also have to make sure that everything is level. If it's out of level or out of square, your other panels, as you're putting your wall panels and everything else up, the holes won't line up. And I noticed a lot of the actual reviews on this building was that stuff wouldn't line up, screws wouldn't line up, this, that, and the other. And it could go back to, like I said earlier, either you may have the wrong part. They might have accidentally put the wrong part in, you might have grabbed the wrong part, put it in the wrong place, or you're just simply not square and level. That's why throughout the whole process you constantly measure, level, square, do everything as you go. As we're going through this, as far as for this video, everything from here up is the same no matter what surface you're on. Now on the concrete surface, once we get the building up, that way we got everything all bolted together, then we'll come in here and put corner gussets in that will anchor into the concrete on all four corners, and there's some other stuff that goes along with it. We'll get into that just on the anchor kit video. But we have squared and leveled our frame. Just a good thing about using concrete, if you do your concrete work right, everything's level, so it makes it a lot easier on this part. But now we are ready to move on to step 6, the corners, which is going to be really fun. And another thing I want to note, make sure you have time to finish this. Beware of the wind, because right now when you start standing, these little panels by themselves not strong enough to handle much. It's when they're all put together that you get your strength. If you don't think you're going to get it finished, right now is the point to stop at. Pick all your stuff up and start on a day when you know you can get everything done. Because if not...
And from here on, it's a two-person job too, isn't it?
From here on out, it's a two-person job. Because you have to handle all these panels, you got to watch for the wind and stuff. And the bad part is I'm sitting here looking at the sky, and it's looking like we're probably fixing to get some rain. So we have set up a little tent for us to get in out of the rain, because due to work and everything else,
we have
to try to get this done today. So we're going to see how it works out.